My name is Sama, and welcome to Mediocre Guidance. Look, I'm wearing poofy sleeves today. I don't know. What does that have to do with the video? Absolutely nothing. Today I want to talk about the theme of comparison and how the very common saying, comparison is the thief of joy, is not completely accurate, in my opinion. To be quite frank, comparison is something that we do all the time, and it's actually quite natural for us to do that. And that is because we live in a time-space reality of relativity. We have to compare and contrast what's happening around us in order for us to orient ourselves in our world and just know what place we hold. So for us to avoid comparison altogether is pretty much impossible. We would have to live in a vacuum and be in a bubble of complete ignorant bliss in order to do that. And as we all know, that is not possible. For example, I am a very average height for a woman my age. And how do we figure that out? I mean, statistics is completely based on comparison. The word average itself is the Goldilocks of tall and short people. And for me, my height is just in the middle. Okay, if you're a stats nerd, being right in the middle is technically the median, but I'm not smart enough to define the average. What is the average? Well, it's like the sum, and then divided, you know what I mean. Now, just because I'm being a pain in the butt about the saying that comparison is the thief of joy, when somebody says that to you going forward, I don't want you to be like, actually, Sama told me that it's not comparison. People say this with the best of intentions, of course, and all they really mean is to keep your eyes on the prize, don't get discouraged by anybody else's success or failure, and to keep working towards your aspirations. So we will take that in good spirit and with grace. Don't let me be the demise of your social life, please. The reason I was inspired to make this video is because I was in a bit of a funk last week. I just felt that as a content creator, I was doing poorly for myself. I mean, like, look at my setup. I'm literally just here in my living room using what I have to share what I believe can be helpful to you and others around the world. And compared to just such amazing people on YouTube, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? So now the reason people say comparison is a thief of joy is because there is an underlying root cause for that dissatisfaction. What I think is the true cause of our pain when it comes to feeling inadequate compared to somebody else is the belief in scarcity. I want to use the example of a pie. When we think of like success in the world and being able to experience that in our lifetimes, it's like we want a slice of this pie. That pie is a finite resource. Once all the slices are gone, the pie is gone. Because of that, we feel that there is a limited amount of success available to be spread out or shared throughout the world. And if you don't get in on that, then too bad, so sad, you're done for. And this is the root of our pain, whether that's feeling envious of somebody else or just feeling like you've been shafted by the universe in getting your share of the pie that is abundance and success. And so when we seek success in any form, we need to employ faith. Faith is the remedy to our feeling of scarcity, because we are placing our trust in a higher power that we will be provided for, and everything that is meant for us will be ours, no matter what. And that doesn't mean that the success that you deserve will be presented to you on a silver platter with no effort involved. You may have to work very hard for it, you may have to overcome challenges, but that doesn't mean that it isn't worth the effort. And how can you tell? By the feeling in your heart. You have a purpose in this life, and that is to spread love. Remember, at the end of the day, that is our only role, is to be bringers of love to each other and for ourselves. So when you place your faith in the abundance of the universe or of God, that is when comparison will no longer be an issue for you. You will know that if Joe Schmo over there is successful, even if they don't deserve it, it doesn't matter, right? What faith does for us is it changes our perspective so that instead of thinking of what's available for us to achieve as a single pie that we all have to fight over, we can think of life as an all-inclusive buffet. This is a really privileged and like humble braggy example, but I have been on a cruise in my life, and my favorite part of it, to be honest, was the all-inclusive buffet. And it was amazing because as soon as one pan or tray of food would finish, someone from the back would just bring out another, as if there was never any shortage at all. Let's say someone takes food from a tray and they drop that plate of food, or they have a single bite and they throw it away because they hate it. If you knew that that was the only pan of food available, it would probably make you angry, right? That this person is taking what they have for granted, or else they're abusing their ability to have that food in the first place. But if you know that more food is coming out and that replacing it is no issue at all, then you wouldn't be upset. You really would not care what that other person is doing with their plate of food. They could throw it across the wall and start a food fight, and you wouldn't think that it would impact your ability to access that same food. Obviously, this example is not meant to be commentary on food waste, because that's not what I mean at all. I'm just using it as a metaphor to explain how abundance is of God, and all you need to do is have faith in what you can achieve, and if it's meant to be, it will be, and nobody else's success can take that away from you. I also want to mention that the definition of success can be totally different for people. You can be an incredibly successful person just being a stay-at-home mom, because in your heart, you want to be a nurturer and you want to shape our next generation. I think that's a beautiful aspiration. There's nothing wrong with that. In the same way, if you want to become a rocket scientist and work for NASA, there's nothing wrong with that either, right? I actually saw this article just on my phone. I have an Apple phone, and so like the Apple News feed comes through, and they always want me to pay to read the articles, so I don't. I just read the headlines, and then I make assumptions in my own head of what that article is about. But I saw this headline that celebrities are like some of the most depressed people in the world, which is bizarre because we idolize that celebrity lifestyle so much. We think that that is the jackpot and the best possible thing that could happen to someone, whether it's because they got there from their good looks or obviously their talent and their hard work. But just having the adulation of others seems like such an amazing end goal to have. So why on earth would these people be depressed? But the truth is, fulfillment and joy for people comes from different sources. And what we think brings joy may not be the case, because everybody has to march to the beat of their own drum and forge their own path in this life. So there are lots of rich people who are just unhappy as heck. So next time you're feeling down in the dumps, when you're comparing yourself to somebody else who's doing better or worse than you, and this is very normal. So if you feel this way, it's completely natural. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we must compare in order to understand how we're doing. So that's okay. And I, as a spiritual teacher, probably compare a little too much. I don't know if it's because growing up, my parents were always like, you may have gotten an A in school, but so-and-so got an A+, so what's that all about? You know, whatever. It is a part of life, and that's okay. But what will bring you relief is the concept of abundance and faith in that abundance that is meant to be yours. So throw off the shroud of the belief in scarcity. It is not true, and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life where you're at right now. We are exceptional as humans at taking things for granted. So bring the practice of gratitude into your life as well, and know that you are amazing. You do have a place in this world. You do have the right to ask for your inheritance from God, which is truly the kingdom of heaven, and that can translate to your life here and now in this time-space reality. And I believe in you. You should believe in yourself, right? Faith doesn't mean just believing in God or the Holy Spirit. You also have to have faith in yourself, because you are an amazing creation. Keep your chin up. Be proud of who you are and what you have to offer to this world. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Mediocre Guidance, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. I really want pie now.